Agency South Africa. Thanks so much for your time on SABC News. So what do job seekers need to bear in mind when looking for jobs, and how do they need to upskill themselves?
Okay, there's a couple of things that job seekers can look at. Number one, very, very important would be the CV. People are not forgetting that when your CV goes out to a recruitment agency or to a company, it is the first thing or the first impression that people will see. And a lot of people don't put any effort into it.
So then perhaps you could talk to us about what that effort means, what it translates to. How do you as a recruitment agency or an employer pick up a CV and say, this is the kind of CV that I can see that attention and detail has been looked into?
We need clear and evident sort of information on that CV, i.e. the skill set, your experience, and we need it to be presentable and neat. The big problem that we have is we will get a CV that has been faxed to us. It looks like it has been scrumpled up, that sort of thing. And as a recruiter, we don't even look at those CVs. I think if a lot of people could actually get onto something like a Word document or PDF or something to that effect, it'll help a lot, because it takes the recruiter a lot less time to go through those type of CVs.
We seem to be seeing a big disconnect with people who have left university or tertiary education with qualifications, that are unemployed and that have to take very desperate measures in order to try and secure employment. What would you suggest to them that they do in order to connect with recruitment agencies or other forms of employment?
Okay, yes, we have seen a lot of that. The issue around it is a lot of the companies, when they come to a recruitment agency, are looking for people that have got 2 to 3 years experience. Now the person has just recently graduated. We need to somehow bridge the gap between the person who has no experience and somebody who has experience. So what we generally do is we as a recruitment agency will market that CV. So we'll take the CV in, we will polish the CV, and we will send it to our clientele and giving them, marketing that person to get them out there. That is the actual purpose of a recruitment agent, is to actually help that person to get into that job role. There's been a lot of emphasis on government around employing people that have just recently come out of graduation, and we are starting to see a little bit of movement in that sector.
So how do you ensure that when you're dealing with these type of people, that the potential employers don't take advantage or use exploitative practices on people who are quite desperate for employment in a country with 27.1% unemployment rate?
Okay, so as a recruitment agency, what would happen is any job offer that was given to one of our candidates would come with an offer of employment. That offer of employment we will go through with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that there are no issues surrounding maybe payments, leave days, annual leave days, sick days, those sort of things. We generally go back to the employment of South Africans, and it would be under the general labour legislation.
And then let's talk about the accreditation of recruitment agencies such as yourself. If I'm watching at home and I'm trying to join one, how do I know that I'm dealing with an accredited recruitment agency that's not going to take advantage of me or be dodgy?
Look, it's the same thing as saying who's a scam artist and who isn't a scam artist. General recruitment or proper recruitment agencies will take the time to get the candidate to come and see them, number one. Number two is to fix the CV. And number three is that most recruitment agencies don't generally charge for that service. At the end of the day, we are paid by the client and not by the candidate. So that would be my first sort of point of call is find a recruitment agency that has a proper web platform, somebody that's going to take the time to actually interview you, sit you down, get your interview skills up and running, and get the CV looking as good as possible.
Sean Hughes, the owner of the Recruitment Agency South Africa, joining me from Durban there. Thanks so much for your time on SABC News. It's time for a short break.